What's up, Commanders fans? Welcome back to Commanders HQ. Our Washington Commanders are making serious moves this offseason, looking to build on last year's success and take another big step toward contending in the NFC. This is an exciting time to be a fan, and we've got a lot to break down today. But before we jump into the latest rumors, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow and bring you the best Commanders content out there. All right, let's get into it. The offseason is in full swing, and Washington is expected to be an active player in free agency. After an incredible first season, under the leadership of Adam Peters, Dan Quinn, and of course, Jayden Daniels, the Commanders have positioned themselves as one of the most attractive destinations for top-tier free agents. And now, the latest. Buzz suggests that a Pro Bowl wide receiver could be on Washington's radar. We're talking about Tampa Bay Buccaneers star Chris Godwin. One of the biggest priorities for the Commanders this offseason is to give Jayden Daniels more weapons. Terry McLaurin has been the unquestioned WR1 in Washington, but he needs help. With cap space to make a splash, Washington could turn to free agency for that missing piece, and Godwin might be the ideal fit. According to Ian Valentino from the 33rd team, Washington is emerging as a strong contender for Godwin's services. He writes, "Thanks to Jayden Daniels' breakthrough, Washington will be a popular landing spot for mock trades and free agent signings. Flush with money and featuring a well-liked coaching staff, Washington will win most recruiting battles if they want to. Its quest to add a great number 2 receiver next to Terry McLaurin is one race it could spend a lot on." Godwin primarily wins from the slot, logging at least 61% of snaps there in 5 of his last 6 seasons. Let's talk about that fit. Godwin has been one of the most consistent slot receivers in the NFL over the past few years. Before his ankle injury in Week 7, he was averaging an impressive 82 yards per game in Tampa Bay's offense. Even though he missed time, he still racked up 576 yards and 5 touchdowns in just 7 games. That's the kind of production Washington could use to take the offense to the next level. Of course, the big question is always about the price tag. Spotrac.com currently projects Godwin's market value at around $22.5 million per year. That's a significant investment, but given that he's coming off an injury, there's a chance Washington could negotiate a slightly lower number. The Commanders have the cap space to make this move happen if they truly believe Godwin is the missing piece. From a football standpoint, the fit is clear. Godwin's ability to win from the slot would give Daniels a reliable target over the middle, making it harder for defenses to key in on McLaurin. This move would add balance to the offense and give Washington one of the better receiving duos in the NFC. Do you guys think the Commanders should make a big push for Godwin? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's shift gears to another topic that has the NFL world buzzing. Washington's young quarterback, Jayden Daniels, is already turning heads, and one analyst has made a pretty bold claim. He'd take Daniels over Super Bowl champion Jalen Hurts. That's right. CBS Sports' Pete Prisco recently stated that if he had to choose between the two, he'd roll with Daniels. Here's what he had to say. "To me, that's Jayden Daniels." That's no slight to Jalen Hurts. I think Jayden Daniels is going to be special. This has sparked a huge debate among NFL fans. On one hand, you've got Hurts, a proven leader who's taken the Eagles to deep playoff runs, including a Super Bowl appearance. He's an established star. On the other hand, you have Daniels, a rookie who showed flashes of brilliance in his first season. Prisco's reasoning likely comes down to Daniels' potential. In his rookie year, he demonstrated elite athleticism, accuracy, and the ability to extend plays with his legs. He completed 69% of his passes and set a new rookie record for rushing yards by a quarterback. Those are elite traits that make analysts believe he could have an even higher ceiling than Hurts. Now, let's be fair. Daniels hasn't yet proven he can lead a team deep into the playoffs. Hurts has. That's a major difference, and it's why many people still see Hurts as the superior quarterback right now. But if Daniels takes another step forward in year 2, this debate could get very interesting. Commanders fans, where do you stand on this? Do you think Daniels has the potential to surpass Hurts in the coming years? Let's get this discussion going in the comments. The work to build a championship-caliber team never stops, and the Commanders' front office, led by Adam Peters and head coach Dan Quinn, has already been grinding behind the scenes. College scouts have been assembling draft boards, pro scouts are analyzing pending free agents, and the organization is strategizing how to take this team to the next level. The next few months will be critical as Washington looks to fine-tune its roster for another deep playoff run in 2025. Let's take a look at the most important dates of the offseason that will determine the players suiting up for Washington next season. One of the first major checkpoints of the offseason is the franchise tag window. Since 1993, teams have had the option to apply the franchise tag to one player per year, preventing them from hitting free agency while guaranteeing them a league-determined salary based on their position. While this can be a useful tool to retain top talent, tagging a player for consecutive seasons can become extremely expensive. Washington used the tag on Darren Payne 2 years ago before securing him with a long-term deal. However, this year, the Commanders aren't expected to use the tag. Fans keeping an eye on the free agent market, though, might want to watch how the Cincinnati Bengals handle star wide receiver T. Higgins, who could be a prime target for Washington. Let's be honest, free agency is one of the most exciting times of the year. The legal tampering period kicks off at noon ET on March 10th, allowing teams to start negotiating with unrestricted free agents. While contracts can't be officially signed until the new league year begins, this window often sets the stage for some of the biggest moves of the offseason. Remember when J.D. McKissic initially agreed to terms with Buffalo before deciding to stay in Washington? Yeah, this is the time when deals are made, and sometimes changed before they become official. Mark this date down, Commanders fans. At 4 p.m. ET on March 12th, the new NFL league year begins, and with it, free agency officially opens. All players whose contracts have expired will hit the open market, and we'll see a flurry of big signings in the first few days. Last year, Adam Peters wasted no time, landing key starters like Nick Allegretti, Frankie Louvu, Jeremy Chin, and Dorrance Armstrong Jr. in the early hours of free agency. Not to mention later signings like Bobby Wagner, Tyler Bayadas, and Austin Eckler, all of whom made significant impacts. This year, with Washington having plenty of salary cap space, expect Peters to be aggressive in targeting areas of need, especially at wide receiver, offensive line, and edge rusher. While most of the focus is on unrestricted free agents, restricted free agents, RFAs, and exclusive rights free agents, ERFAs, are also part of the offseason equation. The Commanders don't have any restricted free agents this year, but do have one exclusive rights free agent, running back Chris Rodriguez Jr. Washington will have the opportunity to retain him at a team-friendly cost, providing additional depth in the backfield. Perhaps the most pivotal event of the offseason, the NFL Draft, takes place from April 24th to April 26th. This is where teams secure young, elite talent to build their future. Last year's draft class was an absolute home run, with Jayden Daniels proving to be the franchise QB the Commanders had been searching for, and defensive standouts like Jerzan Newton and Mike Senristil making an immediate impact. Can Adam Peters work his magic again? With several key positions to fill, the draft will play a massive role in shaping Washington's roster for 2025 and beyond. For players drafted in the first round of the 2022 NFL Draft, teams have until May 1st to decide whether to exercise their fifth-year option. However, because Washington traded Jahan Dotson to the Philadelphia Eagles and released Emmanuel Forbes Jr., the Commanders don't have any decisions to make in this area this year. It's clear that Washington is in an exciting position heading into the 2025 season. Adam Peters has done a phenomenal job building this roster, and now the team has the flexibility to make big moves. Whether it's signing a star receiver like Chris Godwin or watching Jayden Daniels develop into one of the league's top quarterbacks, there's a lot to look forward to. This is a franchise on the rise, and the NFL is starting to take notice. Now it's your turn, Commanders fans. Should Washington go all in on Chris Godwin? And do you agree with the analyst who picked Jaden Daniels over Jalen Hurts? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to Commanders HQ for more exclusive Washington Commanders content. We're just getting started, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. See you in the next video. Hail to the Commanders!